Good afternoon, this is Bob Iaccino coming to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago, talking metals. I know I talk a lot about copper, but copper down almost 2.5% today, down at that 260 level, closing on its lows. The volatility for copper continues. We've now had 3 sessions in September with intraday moves of 2% or more, and 1 session with an intraday move of 1.6%. So copper has been extremely volatile. Most of those moves have been down. One of them has been up. And again, most of it relies upon trade and the effect that trade is going to have on China. Now, there are trade talks scheduled, so we'll see. Well, actually, they're not scheduled, but they've been announced. The U.S. invited China to speak again. The logistics are being worked out. President Trump seems to want to implement the tariffs anyway, but Steve Mnuchin is going forward with talks. I don't feel like that's counter to the president allowing him to do it, but he is going forward. So we look toward China in another way until we see those talks actually become fruitful. We look at Chinese data. Now, the Chinese met their industrial production estimates, 6.1%, and that is what was expected. The Chinese retail sales came out a little bit better, 9%, up 9% versus up 8.8%. That isn't going to be that much of a factor in copper, at least in the short term. You'd rather see the industrial production spike. It did go up. Again, that 6.1% was a positive figure, but it met expectations, so there's nothing that's going to happen with copper spiking on that. If copper is going to rally, it's going to be because of the Chinese property market getting better. Retail sales doesn't really help us with that in the long run. So again, copper ended up finishing weak. And then the dollar, of course, back higher again today, 43 basis points on the dollar index. A lot of that early on was euro US dollar, but the euro ended up finishing lower against the US dollars based on some data they did. So dollar stronger, the opposite effect on commodity prices as always. All else equal, if the dollar's stronger, copper would fall. This is Bob Iaccino talking metals, specifically copper, from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago.